Hi everybody, welcome back. We are officially in Module 5, and in this module we will be focusing on historical fiction and nonfiction along with informational text or informational reading. This video should be able to take us through both weeks of the module, so let's begin. So what of course I'd like to do is click on the Overview tab, and it will tell us that in this week we'll be focusing on historical fiction, which you will then read the text titled Historical Fiction. We have reading commentary number 8, as well as an author study due. So I still want to jump back and go through our week through the module rather than the Overview tab, but it's nice to organize yourself by looking at the tab. So here you will find the readings, and we will be doing the reading organizer. This has not changed, so we don't need to take a look at it. We really know what to do by now, and you guys are doing a great job. But the reading commentary this week on historical fiction, you have two options, and remember, so the way the options 1 and 2 are is option 1 is you're going to find an actual book in hand to read for this discussion. Option 2 is if you are not going to find the actual book, that you will find 2 titles of the books and then read the synopsis online and find 2 reviews. So that's really the difference. If you're able to find a digital book for option 1, that will be completely fine. So you will find 2 books for this reading commentary. You can use the historical fiction link or the Scott Odell Award winners, which some of you did your poster on the Scott Odell Award. So these are some great books to follow. And then while you're reading your books or your synopsis, pay attention to the age and grade the book would be best for, the category of historical fiction does the book belong to, and what period is the book set in, along with considering the literary techniques the author uses and what authentic historical characters, events, or time period the book is associated with. If you're familiar with historical fiction, you will be familiar. Usually they do take place in World War II or a time period where that is very familiar. So in option 1, you will include in your initial post the title and author, the age and grade that it would be best for. Then you are going to recall your reading of our text this week and be able to answer the question, what category of historical fiction does this fall into? Categories are adventure, fantasy, humor, or mystery. But if you're not sure, go back to the historical fiction module text reading, and it will help you become familiar with that. And then tell me how you know it's part of one of those categories. It should just be 2 to 3 sentences. For time period, recall the text. Our historical fiction text discusses 9 different time periods. Which one do you think that would be best situated for? And that should be about 1 sentence. Next, you're going to take a look at literary techniques. Describe at least 1 literary technique the author uses and give an example from the book. So this should be an in-text citation from your book itself because you have read this book. So again, refer to the text to help you remember what literary techniques are discussed and how they can be applied to the particular example that you include. Then you're going to discuss authentic association. Typically, historical fiction are associated with an authentic person or a particular time or event or time period. So in this part, you will describe what your book is associated with and what the reader will learn about that person, event, or period of time from that they are reading about. Then, of course, you're going to attach an image of the book. It can be a digital image or a book in hand image. Remember, you're going to do this for 2 books. Option 2, a little bit different. This is if you do not plan on reading the actual book. You can do an online search with these links. Read the synopsis of the book and then of 2 books, and then locate 2 reviews, literary reviews of the book. It's best if you read multiple reviews to find the ones that you want to highlight. The reviews should include, in your review, you should include a link in your post And just pay attention again to the age, grade, historical fiction categories, and so on. So this is very similar to option 1. You will include title, author, as well as the source of the reviews and the link to the reviews. Remember, in this, you have not actually read the whole book. You just read the synopsis, found 2 reviews of the book, and that's what you will be going off of. Then the age and grade that it is best suited for. And then the same thing as above, category, time period, authentic association. And then this part is new. Tell us about the book reviews. What were the overall perspectives of the reviews of the book? Did the review influence you wanting to go ahead and read the book further because you only read the synopsis? Why or why not? Do you think the reviews are from a credible source? Why or why not? So this should be about 4 to 5 sentences. And then attach an image of the book. This can be a digital image. Don't forget to respond to 2 peers. Remember, that's due by Sunday, so you have some extra time. But that is 2 points on the discussion board, so you want to definitely go back and grab those points. Okay, the next assignment this week is our author study, and this is a very fun assignment. We have been looking at various genres throughout the course, and we're going to continue to do so as we talk more about historical fiction, nonfiction, informational text, and so on. But really, we have taken a look at a lot of genres thus far. So this is your time to consider all the different types of books you've read. Maybe there's one particular author you've loved your whole life. Maybe there's an author that you have become really partial to during this class. It is your choice. I want you to choose your favorite author. But within the realms of children's literature. So it needs to be a children's literature author. The only one I'm asking that you do not research is Brian Selznick, who is the author of Hugo Cabret, because we will be doing an in-depth discussion and search on Brian Selznick in Lit Study number 3 for Hugo Cabret, so do not do him. But he is the only one that is off the table, as long as they are a children's literature author, and of course that could be for young readers, youth, that kind of thing. So choose your favorite to spotlight. If you're not sure, do a search and find some of your favorite books and see who that favorite author might be. You're going to do an online search of at least 5 of the books by your favorite author. You are going to read the synopsis of each of those books. You do not have to read the whole book, just the synopsis. Then you're going to research your author a little bit more in depth. Find out if they have a website. Most authors do have their own website that spotlight who they are. Most author spotlights are in our course readings, and they can often include additional websites as well. So use our readings to help you as well. Research articles that have been written and videos that have been created by your author, and read and listen to a few interviews with your author. It's going to help you get to know your author a little bit more. You're going to create a visually appealing digital poster similar to what you did with the award winner posters. If you liked the modality you used, use it again. Pictochart is great. Remember though, when you use those modalities, you need to make sure the share settings are set so that anyone with the link can view, or if you only want to share it specifically with me, make sure in the share settings you put my Mesa email. That would be fine if you only want to share it with me, but it might be easier to simply share it with anyone who has the link can view. So, the bones of the assignment. Your poster needs to include 5 facts about the author, 5 interesting facts. It also needs to include a link to the author's website, and you need to tell us or explain 3 features the author's website has. So you could include a link and then bullet points below. This site you'll find interactive games that the author has included. You might find more information about other books they've written. You might find more biographical information here. So 3 facts or features that the author's website have. Usually authors have very cool websites. The next is you need to find an interview or an article that the author participated in, and then tell us 3 facts that you learned from reading the article or listening to the interview with your author. You want to include a link to your interviews and articles. So there should be 3 facts that you learned. There should be 2 links because there should be 2 sources. It can be 2 articles that you read or 2 interviews or one or the other. Then you're going to give an overview of what types of books that the author writes for, the age of the readers that the author is associated with, and an overview of the 5 books. So this, remember, you're supposed to read the synopsis of 5 books that the author has written. You will include for each of the books the title, a brief synopsis of the book, the target audience, the book format, and the genre. You will also want to include pictures of the books. So you can see here that we've got 5 points for biographical info, 4 points for the author's website, 5 points for the article or interviews that included 2 sources and discussing 3 things you learned from reading or listening to those interviews. Summary of the bibliography, so overview of the types of books and the audience that the author writes for, and then the 5 points for the synopsis of the 5 books, including an image for each book, the title of each book, the synopsis of the book, grade, age level that it's geared for, and the format or genre. Okay, so that is the author study. So it's just a much more in-depth poster from what you did back in the award winners, but it's very fun, and once you start doing your research, you will start to learn so much more about these authors and what they're all about. Their websites are great. Typically, their interviews are very interesting. So have fun with this poster. Take your time, enjoy, and I look forward to reading these posters. Okay, so that is due the first week of Module 5. Second week of Module 5, you will do reading on nonfiction and informational reading. You will have a reading organizer. That is the same thing we do every week, so we don't need to go into that. And then a reading commentary. So week 2, Module 5, just the reading organizer, and the reading commentary. For the reading commentary, you will find 2 nonfiction or informational text books. Option 1 will be focusing on finding the books and reading them. You can use this Cybert Medal or Honor books or biographies for students, grades 1 through 8, or you can do your own search. Your initial post should include the title, author, age, and grade of the book, the type of nonfiction. This will be referring directly to our reading on nonfiction or informational text. It talks about 5 different types of nonfiction: narrative, autobiography or biography, humanities or history, social studies, STEM, or adaptations. So you will describe what type of nonfiction book what type it is and how you know. And if you're not sure, go back to your readings and refer. Then you're going to evaluate. Nonfiction is evaluated in 3 things: accuracy, engagement, and visual techniques. So using our text, information you learned on evaluate your book on the 3 criteria and give examples. So quickly, accuracy will have 2 to 3 sentences, engagement 2 to 3 sentences, visual technique 2 to 3. Then you will discuss the type of student reader who would want to read this book, describe the type of student you would recommend this book to, and attach your image. Option 2, you are again going to read the synopsis of the books that you choose and find 2 reviews of 2 nonfiction or informational textbooks. You will answer the same questions except for one down here, which will discuss the book reviews with the overall perspective of the reviews of the book. How did the reviews influence you in wanting to read it further? And do you think the reviews are from a credible source? Okay, that pretty much wraps up Module 5. Remember, our last Lit study is going to be Hugo Cabret, make sure that you are starting that as well. Have a great week.